So for a while now, I've been working on trying to make a um, roguelike that is yet unnamed. Um, but um, I've kind of been working on and off on it. Sometimes hard to keep momentum going. Um, Especially I'm the type who will run into a roadblock and be like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I need to take a break. But then I get back to it and I'll, spend like 8 hours straight just working on it. I really get into this. Anyways, um, so I've put a lot of work into this, and now I do want to show off a little bit of my progress. Note that this is really rough. Um, there's a lot that I'm still polishing, and this is just, basically I've got a player, I've got a monster, no, not really any UI yet, um, but I feel like I talk about it a lot, but I don't show it, I haven't shown anything off yet. So I do want to kind of, for the people who've been like, so, how's it going? How's your game project going? What are you doing? When are you gonna have something to release? When do you think it'll be done? I just want to kind of show off, and I do also want to note that a lot with making a game, for those who are less familiar with the process, I can't even say that I'm learning a lot as I go along too about the process. Though I have done a few projects before that never went anywhere, but did get decently far. Well, one of them at least. Anyways, a lot of the hard work goes into laying the groundwork, setting up rules. So this is what a player does. This is how a player acts. This is the qualities that make a player. This is what an enemy is. This is how an enemy acts. This is how the world is put together. This is how the enemy and the player interact. So it's a lot of rules. But once you have one character interacting with one enemy, it's a lot easier because most of those interactions are the same. The player attacks the enemy attacks the player, the enemy walks around. Animations might be a little different. There's definitely some things that one enemy might have that another might not. One player character might have that another might not. But there's enough overlap that once you've created one, iterating on that, creating more, is a much faster process. So even though you're going to see, I've got one player, I've got one enemy, making a new enemy is just a matter of, dragging it in, putting the relevant bits of code on there, the scripts that make it do its magic, and then maybe adding in some new relevant animations. Adding in an item now, I just have to set up, put in the art for the item, put in any changes to the code. If it's has any special effects, I might have to add some things with that. But the core of what an item is there. So anyways, I've talked enough. I can talk a lot about these projects, but let's just go in here. It's not anything fancy yet. I just kind of have a basic test level with the player and the enemy. So let's see. We're gonna run this and hope something unexpected doesn't break, which it probably will because I'm streaming. Nope. Okay, good. So I can see here I've got my character. I made the model using a program called Make Human, and the clothing that I downloaded doesn't quite seem to fit the character. I might have to modify my character model a little bit. I'd also end up moving the camera. So this spider's a little bit bigger than it will be in the final thing, but I've just been testing collision. Now you can see it kind of does some wonky things with the collision detection. And every now and then the collider for hit doesn't work. There it goes. When it does work, though, you can see I don't have any UI or anything, but there is a bit at the bottom where it shows I have it going to the console. So it shows here that, damage is being taken. It's a little bit spotty. I just got it working period today. I was still doing a lot of work on fine-tuning collision detectors. And another interesting thing is when I've got my player attack, it makes the enemy just kind of wander off and not want to attack anymore. Which is kind of funny. Yeah, let's... just run up. There's no death animations, no death or anything yet. There's a little animation when it gets damaged. Again, still working on getting those collision detectors and physics down. But yeah, let me just demonstrate something else here quick-like. Start this over again. So whenever my character moves, it is making a sound, essentially. So right now, you can see the spider just kind of wandering aimlessly. Doesn't see me. So if I were to, I can walk around here. It's not reacting at all. Now, jumping makes a little bit more noise. Jumping animation is still a bit wonky. So the spider hears the noise and starts walking, but I don't think it's seen me yet. Oh, if I start running, it's going to hear that and start moving toward the running noise. See if I can get out of sight before it sees me. Oh, it may have... Nope. Okay. So it heard the noise, and it walks over to where the noise is, but the spider doesn't have the best sight. So now it's definitely going to see me. And it's going to... Oh, maybe not. Nope, there it goes. Going to follow me around now. Yeah, this spider's a little bit bigger than it's going to be in the final product, because I'm just currently testing collision detectors. And it's a lot easier to test collision detectors when the objects are bigger than they will be. But yeah, it's still definitely a lot of work in progress. Collision detectors and some of the pathing is a little bit weird. There's a word I'm looking for, but it's not coming to mind. But you can see, like, it's not doing it now, but sometimes it'll kind of phase over me because of collision detection, or phase through me. Every now and then you'll see it, like, kind of get some resistance and get pushed back. So I'm still working on resolving that. Still working on getting the collision detectors consistent. But yeah, it's definitely running. It's definitely something. Next thing I really want to get working on, besides polishing everything up, is getting UI up and running. And that will allow me to do some cool debug stuff. So I don't have to stop and start whenever I want to play with things. I can have like a little debug menu. But then I'll also be able to get displays of HP, so it's not just going into the console. A few other nice things. But yeah, this is my still unnamed roguelike, what I'm working on so far. I know it's not a lot to look at now, but kind of seeing it come together has been really exciting, and just getting to this point has been, this is a huge step toward what will hopefully someday in the near future be a full-featured game. But now that I'm kind of at this point where there's going to be a lot more fussing in Unity than just typing code, which I don't think is very fun to watch, I might start streaming my progress a little bit more. My boyfriend is visiting right now, so probably not a lot of streaming going on. Yeah, hopefully have more to show off in the near future. I'm going to be working on making actual levels besides just this really bland, boring test environment. the graphics aspect of that might be a little bit more involved, so that might be a bigger project than I'm anticipating. We'll see. Anyways, I think I've rambled on long enough. This is going to be a bit of a lengthier video than I expected. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. If you've tuned in, I'm not really paying attention to OBS or Twitch right now. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching this on YouTube.